kids, did you hurt Minnie's feelings? Yes, yes, they did, Mrs. Wilson. Kids, you say sorry to Minnie right now. No, I can't hear you. It's okay. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, kids. Maybe my voice is a little squeaky. Maybe I'll practice. Yes, Minnie practice maybe a lower voice. Okay, I'm lower now. Is this a lower voice? I'm just being silly. Okay, here's my lower voice. Here's my lower voice. What do you think? Um, maybe you could practice it some more and come back and visit another day because we need to do lesson 23. Okay. Okay. See you later, kids. Bye-bye. Okay, well, that was a nice surprise. Minnie's going to practice her lower voice and come back and see us another day. But for lesson 23, today we're going to hear about the story of William Tell. Here are the names, places, and vocabulary we're going to hear. The names are Gessler. Can you guess his name? That's right, Gessler. And William Tell. William, do tell. Well, maybe. And the place is Switzerland. I'll show you a map. This is a map that has Switzerland on it. And you can see it's what you might call landlocked, meaning he's between. Here's Switzerland. Above, you see Germany. On this side, on this side is France. Down below is Italy. And then this big long part here is called Austria. And there is Switzerland there in the center. Okay? That's where our story takes place. And the vocabulary word is tyrant. Does anyone know tyrant? Tyrant. Vocabulary word, vocabulary word, vocabulary word. Tyrant. Tyrant means cruel ruler. Tyrant means cruel ruler. Okay, so we're going to hear about that in our story. We find this story in the book on page 68. Okay, the story of William Tell. The people of Switzerland were not always free and happy as they are today. Many years ago, a proud tyrant whose name was Gessler ruled over them and made their lot a bitter one indeed. One day this tyrant set up a tall pole in the public square and put his own cap on top of it. And then he gave orders that every man who came into the town should bow down before it. But there was one man named William Tell who would not do this. He stood up straight with folded arms and laughed at the swinging cap. He would not bow down to even Gessler himself. When Gessler heard of this, he was very angry. He was afraid that other men would disobey and that soon the whole country would rebel against him. So he made up his mind to punish the bold man. William Tell's home was among the mountains, and he was a famous hunter. No one in all the land could shoot with bow and arrows so well as he. Gessler knew this, and so he thought of a cruel plan to make the hunter's own skill bring him to grief. He ordered that Tell's little boy should be made to stand up in the public square with an apple on his head, and then he bade Tell shoot the apple with one of his arrows. Tell begged the tyrant not to have him make this test of his skill. What if the boy should move? What if the bowman's hand should tremble? What if the arrow should not carry true? Will you make me kill my boy? He asked. Say no more, said Gessler. You must hit the apple with your own arrow. If you fail, my soldiers shall kill the boy before your eyes. So here is William Tell, as you can see, and then lining up down there with the apple on his head is his son. Then, without a word, Tell fitted the arrow to his bow. He took aim and let it fly. The boy stood firm and still. He was not afraid, for he had all faith in his father's skill. The arrow whistled through the air, and it struck the apple fairly in the center and carried it away. The people who saw it shouted with joy. As Tell was turning away from the place, an arrow which he had hidden under his coat dropped to the ground. "Fellow," cried Gessler, "I mean you with this second arrow." "Tyrant," was Tell's proud answer, "this arrow was for your heart if I had harmed my child." And there is an old story that not long after this, Tell did shoot the tyrant with one of his arrows, and thus he set his country free. And that was the story of William the Tell. Here is your prompt. The people of Switzerland were not always free and happy as they are today. Pause and do your narration. I have a couple of pictures I was going to share with you that have been done through time. This one, as you can see, has William Tell's son is holding the apple while his strong hunting father is behind him, and the people all cried out with joy. You might see in front of the young boy a woman. Might be his mother, so glad he's safe. Okay, here's another one. This one is called a mosaic. Mosaic is when they take tiny pieces of broken pottery or glass, stone, shell, and put them together to make a picture. Here you can see in this one, you can see the hat of Gessler. You can even see these men were bowing. And then you can see proud William Tell standing tall, not bowing and being arrested for that, and holding the hand of his son. And there's one more quick thing I wanted to share with you, that William Tell's Overture is a very famous part of a 4-hour opera done by Rossini. It was done in 1829, not let me look, 1829. The last 3 minutes are the most popular of the entire thing. We know them as William Tell's Overture, and this part of it, actually the last 12 minutes are William Tell's Overture, but the last 3 minutes are the most popular part that we know. The last 3 minutes are called March of the Swiss Soldiers. So I was just going to play that for you, March of the Swiss Soldiers. And when you hear it, you'll be like, hey, I know that. Recognize it? Well, hello, Minnie. What do you know about that? All right, thanks for visiting, Minnie. And thank you, first grade, for your good listening. See you next time.